This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in Colorado. I'm here with the Moberly team. Since 2018, this award-winning, top-producing team is helping their clients reach their real estate needs or goals in Colorado Springs and surrounding areas. I'm joined by Ryan Moberly, who is Realtor, father, team leader. Let's start off a little bit about yourself. I mean, you graduated from college in 2007 in telecommunications, both in radio as well as television. You began real estate, I would say, as an investor in 2010. Since then, you've managed multiple properties. By 2017, you began really sharing some of your expertise with the public as you became Rookie of the Year. More recently, in 2020, you were inducted into the RE/MAX Hall of Fame. Share with us how this decision to become a realtor actually was a pretty good fit for you.
Oh man, so I guess the number one thing to say, and to keep it pretty fun, is my wife always says I have the gift of gab. I love talking. So I just didn't know that you could have a career that you can talk. And that is cool. So with that being said, you know, we were always wondering what to do in the future, and the investments were great, but like we didn't know what the next step was. I didn't even know a licensed realtor was a real job or a career. And I'm like, this is crazy. So my wife just one day was like, you're getting your real estate license. And I'm like, no, I work for the government. I've got a good job. I've got a good pension. I've got retirement. I've got like benefits. I got everything. You want me to leave that to go self-employed, commission only? No, I'm not doing it. She said, yes, you are, because I'm not paying the 3% when we sell our next property. So I was like, okay, so like all good husbands should, or, but I said, okay, so I started studying for my real estate license, and I didn't even know I liked sales. I thought I would just get in for property management. But then it turns out that my ability to talk and build relationships and build rapport with the general public, I didn't know I would even be good at that. And I did it through social media and like a digital platform, which is kind of nice because that's where everyone is anyways. And I just started the conversations, and holy smokes, like I refinanced my house. And we pulled out enough money to pay off our debt and to live, and I just quit my job. And it was
a crazy story. And you really talked your way into real estate.
Yeah.
Your wife talked you into it, then you talked your way through real estate.
I know.
mean, much has changed in real estate, especially in the market. I mean, probably since you began over a decade ago, we're seeing what seems to stay unchanged is the fact that real estate is an investment that is definitely sought after. Why do you think that is? Why do you think real estate is such an investment that people seem to want in their portfolio?
Oh my gosh, I mean, just pure mathematics. I think right now, or at least for the last 3 years, real estate has been a minimum of a 13% return on investment year over year, on average 7+. Now, from what I understand, that's the best investment you can possibly have. I mean, after the recession of 2008, we're coming back into a really good real estate market. Equity's down, everything's down, loan options are down, and at least for Colorado Springs, I don't know about the rest of the nation, but just getting into real estate, I mean, shoot, since 2009 when we bought our first property, I think we are up almost 250% on our original investment. And then we just turn it and turn it and turn it. And I'm assuming most, if not all, investors are doing the same thing. Capital gains hurts a little bit, but whatever. So it's just always a good return. Now, you know, with the economy today, and I don't know how deep you want to go into that, you know, it is kind of changing. So I think investors are definitely licking their lips a little more than they were last month, that's for sure. But
always changing. That's what keeps a professional like you on top of things all the time. I mean, a home becomes an investment, regardless of your original intent. But for many, that investment is kind of a secondary thought. The desire to own a home, would you say that is still the American dream, and is that something that you enjoy helping people get to?
Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. So that is the American dream, depending on what source you're looking at. But I mean, it is still the American dream. I mean, I am very passionate about real estate, and I am very passionate about where I grow up from, and I like talking to like where people from where I grew up about like financial freedom. And I use words like, yeah, let's liquidate the asset and free up your equity, and let's go ahead and roll that into either some debt reduction or whatever. And they're looking at me like, what'd you say? And I'm like, you're gonna learn.
Right.
And it's really nice because I get to work with people, you know, from my past or the military population in Colorado Springs with, you know, 4 different military bases there. We do a lot of VA, and they don't teach this in high school.
No.
So,
I mean, your team, they rank in the top 1% of agents in the Colorado Springs area. Why is it important, maybe more ever than ever before, for a consumer out there to find a professional who has expertise when it comes to the market?
oh my gosh, I mean, like this is a hot topic right now. I think in just El Paso County or Pikes Peak Association Realtors, there's 6,500 participating agents in that MLS. So as you're kind of like swimming through that demographic, you know, you have your top 10% or your top 1%, if you will. And we are the market movers. We are in homes every day, and we are doing that. We watch the market. We're watching interest rates. We're watching every day what's going on. And when you have a full-time job and you're trying to do real estate on the side, it's really hard to keep up with all that knowledge, and because it's a lot, especially right now.
Especially right now, you're changing all the time. The folks that I sit down, they live and breathe real estate. I mean, it's what they do every day. I mean, top 1%. I mean, that's not simply just rewarded. These stats you have to work for. When it comes to getting to know your client, how important is that to you, and do you actually enjoy that process?
Oh my gosh, yes. So, I mean, you know, I do put some money out into marketing and whatnot, but 85%, I think I just ran the numbers yesterday, 85% of my business works on Sphere and referral. So I strive, or at least I teach my agents and myself, that it's 100% based on the client-realtor relationship, and it's a very intimate process. I get to know all their financials, what they want out of life, where they're going as a family. Like, I get to know, like, if they're expecting sooner than later, probably even before their family. Why are you selling? Well, we're kind of pregnant. It's time to move. Oh no, did you tell grandma? No, grandma doesn't know. Okay, so it's so good to build that rapport and build the work. I mean, any Joe Schmo can go open a door, close a door, say, hey, do you want to offer, write a contract, and move on. But those are the agents that, like, you know, they're going to get left out of the market, because like now, like, I think the statistic is something crazy, like 90% of people will hire their realtor 100% based upon their ability to work with that agent. If they don't feel like they can work with you, you're not getting hired. No. So you have to have the knowledge, and you have to have the skill, and you have to have the negotiating skill and the personality. And all of that goes into that, and it's very important, because I mean, I just can't believe on that level, to be in the top 1%, that these people genuinely trust me with their financial decisions. Right. And that is insane. It just blows my mind.
Is it an honor for you when people put that kind of trust in you? We're talking about a transaction, whether buying or selling. It's probably one of the largest transactions they're ever going to have in their lifetime. Oh, and you're going to hear all the intimate details. Is it an honor for you when they put that kind of trust in you?
Oh my gosh, it is an honor. Like, I don't take that honor lightly. And I don't know if you saw my reviews, but I think I'm over like 100 and some plus reviews, all 5-star reviews. So if I ever sucked, hopefully just nobody ever just like put the bad review. Thank you. Yeah. But for the most part, genuinely, all my clients are just like, man, it was fun working with you. You made it very personable, and you are hilarious, so you make it fun. And that's all we're doing. Because like, if you go on the Google machine and type in top 5 most stressful things you can do in a lifetime, moving is number 3 after death and divorce in the family. Oh, yeah. So that's pretty stressful.
It's stressful.
So if I could do anything to relieve that stress, have better knowledge, or just be a little extra goofy, or play with their kids while they're trying to make life decisions, like, I'm gonna do it. I mean, I've painted houses. I've like like cleaned out houses, or like just do whatever it takes to get them from A to B. And that's what sets the 1% apart, because they're willing to do
Absolutely.
that. So
that relationship is huge. You're getting to learn intimate details about their life at a very stressful time in their life. So they want somebody to be human. They want somebody who
Amen.
understands, hey, I'm stressing at night or I'm excited. You're native to the beautiful city of Colorado Springs. It's also home of the Air Force Academy. In 2017, Homes for Heroes began. Share with us what that is and why you felt that was a great fit for your team and also to serve the community.
Okay, so I'm really excited to talk about this. So Homes for Heroes is my bread and butter, and the reason why is, I mean, just the historical demographics of Colorado Springs alone are just really, really cool, and the United States' want to actually put the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs was like incredible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Colorado Springs wasn't even on the map. It was Pueblo, Steel, Denver, growth. And well, it's Colorado Springs. And then it kind of started picking up. And so that was when my grandparents actually came here about 1958. And my grandpa actually was the foreman on the crew that built the Air Force Academy Chapel. So we've been here for a while. And then my other grandpa, actually, he just had an honorable burial with the military, so we just did that last week, so that was pretty cool to see that and the process of that. And he actually served for the Air Force for 22 years.
Impressive.
And he was stationed at NORAD, so
It's exciting. Something near and dear to your heart is this program.
Amen. So in a nutshell, with that being said, all my family fits into that hero demographic one way or another, and Homes for Heroes caters to military, veteran or active, police, firefighter, healthcare, educators, and first responders. And like, I work for Widefield School District 3. My family all works in Widefield School District 3. So number one, that's all my friends and families and people that I hang out with. And due to the being a second generation native to Colorado Springs, we're very big in the community.
I mean, especially a great fit for you personally, but also for your area that you happen to be in. I mean, I understand you guys still hold the title of the best Homes for Heroes affiliate in the entire state. If so, I imagine that has to be something you're pretty proud of.
Yes. Yes. It's so important to know that me and now my team, and we can get to that in a second, we're so passionate about serving heroes that the service equals more clientele. And our clients understand and know that we're not here about the money. I can't even tell you how many transactions me or my agents have done for free, because it's the difference of somebody moving from A to B short or money in the bank account. And if I could be the buffer in between, yeah, no, absolutely, because we're all about service. We're not about money. Money is the reward if you do the good service.
Sure.
And we just tend to do it better than anyone else when it comes to Homes for Heroes in the state. Now, I know that sounded kind of snarky, but that's the outcome. So with that being said, since 2017, we've been the #1 team in the state of Colorado. And I actually got Rookie of the Year for Homes for Heroes in 2017. And so it's been really cool that I can like meet that program and that company on like, I call them friends. Like Ruth Johnson, the owner, and I talk like all the time.
That is cool for them. I mean, Homes for Heroes is not only about giving back to those who definitely deserve it, but does the program itself actually kind of give the buyer or seller an edge when it comes to dealing with a rebate?
Yep, exactly. So the way it works is you could either credit the Homes for Heroes credit towards closing costs, which a lot of my veterans or active military, depending on rank, they don't have a lot of money in the bank account.
Right.
So it's the difference of them getting a home or not getting a home. So I just think that's insane in itself. So, you know, if we can credit that at the closing and it cover closing costs, or for example, right now, since rates are up, I can apply that credit and we can buy down the rate.
Wow.
So like it really, really, really is the difference between somebody getting a home versus not getting a home, and that means way more to me than anything. And then, you know, with that being said, then they tell their friend, and then their friend tells their friend, and then and it just grows.
Like you said, a large percentage of what you do is off referrals, and that's the reason why. We said before that much has changed in the real estate industry since you began. The company EXP, I mean, they've really changed the industry.
Whew.
Why did you feel EXP was a good fit for you and a great company to serve your clients?
Okay, so I am just absolutely mind blown about the EXP model, like, as a whole. But at the end of the day, like, I went because I get an avatar. I know that sounds horrible, but I grew up in the 90s and the early 2000s playing video games, and having that avatar, like, is cool. Like, that's it. It's just cool. That's all. I don't know. Like, so, like, I want to go to the brokerage where I can be a virtual avatar. Okay, whatever. Mark Zuckerberg too. He's got the metaverse. You're an avatar in his Oculus thing, right? So it's kind of the way the world's going anyways. And I'm like, this is cool because I already know this. And with that being said, it's like it puts you in that virtual world, but then it also brings down expenses. Okay. So, you know, so at EXP, I can save more money on splits and whatever, because there is no brick and mortar, there's no building, there's nobody to clean the toilets because there's no toilets to clean. So the franchises, or the broker owners, if you will, you know, they have all those overhead costs and stuff with the building model, or brick and mortar model as we call it. So, you know, once you get rid of that expenses, I can put more money into reaching more heroes, or serving my community, or I really like donating to schools. That's like my favorite thing to do. Like, for example, I just helped Mesa Ridge High School's wrestling team get 41 wrestlers to camp this summer because they had no transportation to get to camp. If I'm the buffer to get these wrestlers to camp, yeah, heck yeah, count me in. And I can do that better, or more often now, because I can free up a lot of those expenses that what I consider the old broker model does have. So EXP is revolutionizing the industry. It's crazy. Yeah,
they're not limited to that office. Basically, there's no limit when it comes to 24/7 taking care of your clients and giving yourself to do more things around the clock as well. I mean, those folks out there who have never invested in real estate, do you feel your years of maintaining property that makes you an invaluable resource for them, and are you happy to share your knowledge with folks out there?
Oh, all the time. And then just being humble and true. Dude, I hated God for the longest time because of how he kind of built my life out, but I never realized that he was just building me for the future me. And with that being said, like, yes, absolutely, because if I have all that maintenance background, that's the difference, that's the edge. So it's like, I'm trying to figure out how I can be better for clients so they get better service. And then of course I got into sales because I kind of like making an income, and I genuinely like feeding my kids. So with that being said, I want to do more of that. Well, I didn't know I could do it on this level. So with that being said, you know, if we walk through a whole house and the client's like, oh my gosh, this is my dream house, I'm like, hey, did you look at this? Did you look at this? The furnace needs replaced, the water heater needs replaced. You see that crack above the window? There might be some settling issues here. This house could be $35,000, $40,000 deep. You're not going to know that until inspection. So take that into consideration as we kind of move forward through the process. Sure enough, I don't want to spend that money. Well, we need to go to find another dream home.
Great people who don't like surprises. No one likes surprises. You're able to go in, point out things that they normally wouldn't see, and probably save them quite a bit of money at the same time. As we said before, you're a native of Colorado Springs. You grew up in that area. You're now raising your boys in the community. Is it important for you to volunteer and give back? You touched on that. Is that something that still gets you up, and you're glad that you can go out and provide a living and at the same time do what you love?
Oh my gosh, yes. So like this is so relevant to what just happened. I think I think it was 4 weeks ago, the counselor and principal at Pinello Elementary reached out to me and asked if I would do career day in their school. So I got to talk to 3rd graders, 4th graders, and 5th graders about their future and what they could do in real estate, either investing or whatever. And it was so cool. These kids like sent me all this stuff back and like, thank you, Ryan. And one kid even wrote, I like cried, thank you for saying I might make a good realtor one day. I'm like, Oh, so with that being said, I'm like super, super passionate about the next generation coming up. I mean, they're the future. And let's be real. One day I'm going to need somebody to wipe my butt. I'm going to need that generation to help me out. So.
That's excellent. I love the fact that you're over there sharing the real estate opportunity for these kids, and you're a guy who didn't even think that was a job before you got started in this thing. That is very cool.
It's crazy.
I mean, you're a team leader, a father. You've been a youth minister in the past. At the end of the day, is real estate really about people, helping people, and is that what keeps it rewarding for you?
Oh, all day, all day. And actually, out in the field, if you will, I tell people all the time, I'm like, this is my ministry. Like, God put me in this situation to help human beings out. And I'm telling you right now, when you're doing God's work, like, something new always comes up, or a new situation, and it's like, how do I overcome this? And you just figure it out. And it's really hard, because we've gotten some people to the closing table and in homes that probably they couldn't have done it, like, ever. Sure. So, like, it's very passionate about it. I've got a lot of clients where I'm like, man, I'll cry just talking about their story and their testimony and how they got to where they are. And I'm just even honored that I can serve them. And so with that being said, it's like, yeah, I'm all in on this. Like, it's my ministry. I get to talk to humans and serve humans and just build relationships and rapport. And man, it's cool. I love it. There's nothing else out there for us. Actually, my wife's getting her license right now too. So she's gonna jump in. She works in the back end right now, so she probably will be mad that I even mentioned this on your show.
We'll be sitting down with her next. I want to hear her story. How she woke up one day and said, you need to go get your license. And you're like, what?
I know. So,
viewers, let's take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. On the website, first of all, learn more about this team that is basically an award-winning team in Colorado Springs. They hold some great basically stats across Colorado as the #1 in many of these areas. You can learn more about the Homes for Heroes also right there on the website. They can get you pre-approved right there on their website. Follow them on Facebook. They're going to let you know what hits the market, give you some great tips when it comes to maybe maintaining your property or possibly getting it ready to sell and that type of thing. Once again, that is the Moberly team since 2018. The award-winning, top-producing team helping their clients reach their real estate needs or goals in Colorado Springs and the surrounding areas. This is Gary Atencia with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.